Ladies and gentlemen, thems and zems alike, I am Dell and I'm back with another episode of Tech. And today I'm going to be talking about a Bears deck. I run it with Ayula, Queen Among Bears. She is a legendary bear. Why is it not focusing? There we go. When another bear enters the battlefield under control, you can choose one, put 2+1 counters on target bear. In target bear you control fights another creature you don't control. Now, I guess before I get started too far into it, get a little more comfortable. I have my deck list up because I play a lot of foreign language cards in this deck, and I'll be honest, I barely speak English, so I'm not too great at remember what they do. So sometimes I play a game and I'm like, I think it's called this or I think it's called that, and I have a general idea, but let me look it up real quick. And my friends always jag me about it, but if I have an opportunity to, it's not just about foils, even though I have my commander in foil. I also have the alternate printing Ruzka, Terror of Point Lookout, and then somebody made me this a while back. It's can't remember the bear's name from Dark Tower, but artist is incorrect. It's a 1/1 for some reason. I never use it, but I just love that art. Where's it going with that? Yeah, so I have a deck list off the side. That's where I was getting with, where I'm going to refer to it a lot. So you'll see a lot of pauses and a lot of dead air. Because one, I don't script. Two, I don't know what some of these cards do 100%. I play this deck a fair amount, but I have not played it in a while. I got to play it on stream more recently. And with the new set coming out, I kind of want to talk about it again because I know people are going to be building bear decks coming up. And there are going to see some bears that are probably going to end up in this deck. I'll probably do an update eventually, but for the most part, it's about every set comes out. Does it have a bear? No, I don't care for this deck. I care about every other deck, but I'm rambling. Let's start getting into it. Up first, in no particular order, this is my stack of bears. Show off some of the art. Make sure my screen doesn't fall asleep. Alright, so we got grizzly bears, 2/2 bear, much to say, Balduvian bears, another 2/2 bear, R.I.P. Quentin Hoover art. We got Ruxa, Patient Professor, and there's a battlefield attacks. Return target creature card with no abilities from your graveyard to your hand. So you got a little bit of recursion there. Creatures with no abilities get +1/+1. And you may have creatures you control with no abilities sign their combination as though they weren't blocked. Used to have, what's it called? The petroglyphs, Miraganda petroglyphs in this deck. I keep it in the box because I'll put it back in there sometimes. Where 2/2 bear tokens, most of the 2/2 bears I keep in here don't have any other abilities, but I find usually when I have this out or the petroglyphs for that matter, I'm never able to pump anything useful up. Just when changeling starts happening, which we'll get into. But I like that card. It's a cute bear. We got Mother Bear. This particular card is foil. The 2/2 bear, but with 3 green. You can exile from your graveyard, create 2/2 green bear tokens, only as a sorcery. I actually played in a pre-release for Modern Horizons, and this did a lot of work for me. This card in particular, this specific print, this physical card. That's why it's special to me, and I won't replace that. Alright. If memory serves, as Alpine Grizzly. Confirmed. Neat little foil. I want to say Chinese print. I'm not 100%. CS? I think so. Getting better at being able to tell what stuff is as far as the card, but I'm not too great at distinguishing between characters. Like Chinese has a very specific look, Japanese has a specific look, Korean has a specific look, Portuguese? I forget what the other one is. Russian, of course. But sometimes the characters they use, or I don't know what to call the Chinese guy. I know Japanese is kanji, where it's I don't know, just looks a little off to me, where I'm not 100% on that one. We have an adorable Gore Claw Terror of Calcisma. Creature spells with power 4 or greater get 2 less to cast. Again, don't see it too often, but it happens. And more importantly, I just want the what's it called? Anvilin. What the hell's that? The binder art. Oh lord, I'm drawing a blank. But the other ability with each creature controls with power 4 or greater gets +1/+1 and trample to the end of the turn. That helps me a lot. Lisa Frank, I got there. I was about to say Anne Frank. We'll skip that part. Please don't judge me. Pale Bears. 2/2 bear with Island Walk. Really cool art. Anthony Waters. I have a lot of art by this guy, and I love his art. I hope he's not a bad person in real life, and I also hope we get to meet him someday if he's still alive. I hope he's still alive. I'll bring that up in I'll stop talking. Surak and Goreclaw. Trample, another creature control have trample. Another non-token creature enters the battlefield and control, put a +1/+1 on it and gets haste on the turn. Really good card. It's one of those cards like I play it, and it's not too many of my bears get countered. I don't think I have a Cavern of Souls in here, and I don't think I will put one in here. But it's definitely one that, it's like people see that, and that's the one that usually gets countered. It's too good. One of the newer cards I put in here. I had to get the, what is that called? Ripple foil. Kind of because the bear itself doesn't really have foiling on it. Rampaging Yao Guai. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Vigilance and Trample. And there's +1/+1 counters equal to how much you spend in addition to 3 green. And there's a battlefield to train a number of target artifacts and or enchantments total mana value X or less. It's a little distraction. It's in there for being a bear. And then the one time I did get the cast, I only paid 1 additional mana. I got to blow up a couple soul rings. It's each any number with total mana value X or less. What the hell did I blow up? So a mana crypt or a soul ring, and then like a mana crypt or a couple other things like these little cheap little artifacts. Alright. I want to say Professor Zoomancy. Oh, I am 2 for 2 so far. This is Japanese print. I want to get a foil at some point, but reading the actual English translation on my tablet. When it enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 black and green past creature token. When it dies, well, that token has when it dies, you gain 1 life. Now, it's a bear. I don't have to explain why it's in there. I just like it. Alright. Spectral Bears? No. That's the German one. I recognize that one better. It's somebody's name. Goodness gracious. Somebody's name. Bears. Right? Looking through my little list, there's only so many bears. Where are you, buddy? Dragon's Card Bear? No. Oh my gosh. No. Vivian's Grizzly. I knew it was somebody's name something. Sorry about that, folks. Vivian's Grizzly. It is a Japanese print, I believe. Does it say in the bottom? Yeah, JP Japanese. For 3 green, you look at the top card of your library. If it's a creature or planeswalker, you may reveal it and put it in your hand. If you don't put it in your hand, put it on the bottom of your library. So, it's in there because it's a bear. But it's also really useful. I can actually kind of pseudo-scry, you call it that. Or I could, like, stack the top of my library, put stuff in my hand, put it on the bottom. Let's go when you stack on the bottom. I don't remember. Should have realized it's Vivian because she's right gosh dang there. But, keeping up with this Ashcoat Bear. I know this one. That's just flavor text, so I don't even have to look it up. But Ashcoat Bear, signed by Carl Critchlow. I got him to sign a bunch of stuff last year, and have a bunch more. It's one of my favorite artists. I reached out to him. We did a little correspondence through the mail. Was it last year or the year before? I can't remember, but it's pretty exciting to get a big stack of signed cards. I'd rather get it in person, but there's some points where it's like, I think he lives in UK or England, over there in Europe, and yeah, he's never gonna come over here. I'm never going over there. There's Spectral Bears. I speak a little German, but not enough to actually try. Spectral Bears is declared as an attacker and defending player has no black cards. It does not untap during your next untap phase. controls no black non-token permanents, actually. Which is a weird way to put it, but a 3/3 for 2. It's there because it's a bear. And we got Owlbear, and my new favorite bears. Well, yeah, we gotta go through my bear tokens at the end here too, but Trample, when it enters the battlefield, draw a card. As you play some bounce effects, this is a favorite of mine to bounce. Oh, put it in a random order, but it kind of worked out. Owlbear Cub. Mama's coming. When it attacks, a player controls 8 or more lands. Top 8 cards in my library. Put a creature card from among them on the battlefield, tap it, attacking that player. Put the rest in the bottom of your library in any order. Now again, Ayula cares about a bear entering the battlefield, or as they call it, enters. And this is really great when I get the hit. Every time I do that, I get nothing. I whiff so hard. Anyway, Golden Bear, 3 and a green. It's 4/3, vanilla, really pretty art. Una Fricker. Hey, watch your profanity. Ooh, speaking of Carl Critchlow, got my other favorite bear. He exercises his right to bear arms. 1 and a green, you can tap it for green. Threshold gets +3/+3. So 4/4 bear for 2 is not too bad. And on a little mana dork, right? This is the Dragon's Guard bear, right? No. Gosh. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Rune Claw? No. Oh, gosh dang it. I never see it in play, and usually it's just a 2/2 bear for X amount, but that one has an ability, and I don't remember. I'm sure it's familiar. Yeah, there we go. Soulbound. Oh, yeah, that's important. Can enter the battlefield and pair up with somebody. And pair with another creature. Each of those creatures has +2/+2. So like I said, I didn't see this too often in games, but it's definitely one I'd have to look up if I was actually playing it. Oh, there's one called Bear. The only honey it wants is the sweet nectar flowing through your veins. It's pretty cool art too. Really nice foil. I don't know if it picks up on camera, like the little scars or little cracks in his fur. River Bear. I guess I got this as a Christmas present one year. Island Walk. Not much more to say about that, but pretty neat, pretty cool looking foil. Dragon's Guard Bear. Nice foil. 1 in the green, you regenerate it. You can only activate if you have total power of 8 or greater. Not too hard to get. There's Ulvenwald Bear. Morbid. When there's a battlefield, if a creature died, it's turn, put 2/+1/+1 counters on it. Got Striped Bears. Comes into play, draw a card. Again, I have some bouncy castles up. I just noticed a lot of these bears are done by Una Fricker. Its favorite, Wilson, Refined Grizzly. I want to get an altar where somebody puts a fence across here. You can just see him peeking over the fence like Home Improvement. But this spell can't be countered. Vigilance, Reach, Trample, Ward 2. And everyone loves Ward. And then choose background, but I don't. That's not how it works in this one. Forest Bear, I'm 90% sure. Yep. No abilities, just really cool, old, foreign card. I got a little cheaper than normal because it's, I want to say Japanese, but I could be wrong. It's just a funny art. I love the art. Kind of reminds me of like old children's books. Not funny like it's bad, but funny. It just looks kind of silly. And another favorite art, Bear Cub. Almost coming. Those are my bears. I guess real quick. My buddy got me a panda bear token. It's freaking adorable. It's got the wonderful arcade post koala bear token. The classic from Onslaught, I think. And a couple other ones. Some neat looking ones. Some owlbear. And then you'll see later I can make copies of Ayula. I did a little arting. I made some, I don't know if that's a crown or horns or what. And a food token just in that pile. There's other, tokens I make, but they're in the pile over here. Oh, I do want to talk about this one real quick. I want to put this in the deck, but I know people won't be up with Rule Zero conversation about putting non-regulated cards, but I think it's kind of cute. Then the extra comments, I will make it a little too broken, but I'm knocking all the other cards over. Dang nabbit. That's showbiz, folks. Rest of the creatures. God, what do you call it again? Universal Automaton. Why am I drawing such a blank? I play you in other decks, damn it. Metallic Mimic. Gosh. And there's Battlefield choose creature type. I'm choosing bears. Chosen creature type and the additional type, so it comes in as a bear. It's a honorary bear. It's my little honorary bear pile. Each of the creatures of the chosen type enters the battlefield with additional +1/+1 counter on it. Universal Automaton, that's an easier one to remember. It's just a changeling, right? No, nothing else special. Now, I guess it's a hot button issue, but changelings can be in Typal decks. You don't need a better excuse than that. Like, you don't. So many people I play just go, well, it's just a cheating term. Like, it's fun. It's flavorful. It's a put this in every one of your Typal. It's a 1-mana 1/1. That's your creature type. What's so bad about that? Plus, I have another one and 2 more in here. They're just really good cards. I really enjoy. God, here's a little gnat buzzing around. Enjoy playing them. Oh, Roaming Throne. Choose a creature type. Triggered abilities. Oh yes. As soon as this card was spoiled, I knew I had to get one for my queen here. But I don't think I need more of an excuse than it's a Typal deck. Woodland Changeling? Yes. I was going to say Wirewood Changeling, but I used to play a lot of elves. Again, it's just a 2/2 for 2 Changeling. Just play more Changeling in your decks. It's pretty art. I love the Changeling like creature style, like the weird gloopy kind of, I don't know, kind of sinister looking, but also adorable. I don't know better to say it. And then we have Realm Walker. Again, choose a creature type. It's all creature types, doesn't matter. Top card of your library, make cast creature spells that chosen type from top of your library. Really cool art. I think it's the buy a box promo. And again, really excited to get that. Chameleon Colossus. Oh, sorry, I had a little little hiccup attack. Again, Changeling. It's a bear. Really creepy and kind of cute art. Oh, I really like that. Ability is really sweet. But protection from black. I don't know what else to say about this, but just play some shapeshift, play some changeling cards. There's nothing wrong with it. I don't know why people bemoan that, or at least the people I've talked to about Typal decks, but it's like, have some fun. Like, so what? And then those were honorary bears. Then we have some non-bears that I like the art on this. It's so creepy. Makes bear tokens. I don't think I've ever cast the actual creature half of this, but bear tokens are a plus. And then the next two, of course, are not bears. One's a beast, the other one is now a snake cleric, I believe. But just getting stuff from my graveyard. I have some lands recursion, and you'll see to kind of stack this in a purposeful manner with Crucible Worlds. Because I'm doing like a little bit of milling. There's some shenanigans I can do with lands you'll see in the enchantment pile. But we're moving on to the artifacts. So, again, lands from graveyard with Conduit of Worlds. Choose target non-land permanent card in your graveyard. If you haven't cast a spell this turn, you cast that card. If you do, you can't cast additional spells this turn. Sorry, I was dropping other stuff off camera, kind of lost track. It's mostly in there for the lands from graveyards. Myriad, Blade of Selves. This is a fun card if I can get it on something. I actually got to pull it off for the first time on stream the other day, because usually it gets countered or destroyed immediately. But again, Ayula cares about bears entering, so I like to put it on Ayula, make Ayula copies. They get sacrificed immediately, but they still enter, can pump her up, can make other bears fight stuff, all sorts of fun shenanigans, as well as one of my favorite cards of all time. If I had a secret lair, this would be it. Helm of the Hosts. Or Helm of the Host. But, comment your turn, you create token copy. I'm tired. If equipped creature except the token isn't legendary, equipped creature is legendary and that gains haste. I love putting this on Ayula and just making copies of Ayula. I love putting this, like, I think I had a copy in every one of my combat-centered commander decks for a while. Or I'm just making copies of my own commander. It's just a lot of fun. We have Riptide Replicator. It's a card I'm always thinking about cutting, but it makes tokens, and it's a fun art. Kind of like the cephalids, but I don't know what they're called now. Making little slivers, OG slivers. Making some goofy stuff, right? Speaking of making goofy stuff, Maxwood Nexus makes everything bears. Makes everything else. But mostly just because I like bears. Make some tokens. This is a pretty strong card in other decks, but doesn't really do too much in mine because none of this stuff's bears anyway. If anything, it's making the 3 or 4 non-bears in my deck also bears. The Ozolith. Doesn't need an introduction, but what I'm going to do is read the English, just in case I miss anything. Whenever a creature you control leaves the battlefield, if it had counters on it, put those counters on the Ozolith. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if it had any counters, you may move all counters from the Ozolith onto target creature. This is a very expensive card, mainly because it's so strong. It's a 1-drop artifact that with counter decks like Ayula make a lot of difference. Every time somebody blows up my commander, I can just kind of stash the counters on here or on other creatures and pile them all up on another one if I need to. But I don't think I need to tell anybody that that card's really good. Next up, we got Icon of Ancestry. Choose a creature type. We're choosing bears. Creatures that type get +1/+1. And then you can look at the top of your library, look for any of that creature type, put it in your hand, put the rest in the bottom in random order. Vanquish's Banner, kind of the same, choosing bears for the creature type, pumping them up. When you cast a creature spell that chosen type, you get to draw a card. I do not play Coat of Arms currently. I have put it in here, I've taken it out. A little Song and Dance. It's one of those cards where I find it helping more other people out than me. I'm never getting enough bears when I play it. But at the same time, eventually it's going to make its way back in this deck. But some extra spicy tech. Erratic Portal. Return target creature to its owner's hand unless its controller pays 1. Now, I'm usually targeting my own stuff, but this is a very handy thing to make other people have to bounce their own stuff. I want the bears back, man. I want to cast them again. It's a good thing to bypass removal. If somebody's going to blow something up, I pay 1, tap this to bounce it to my hand so it doesn't go to the graveyard. There's a couple different things you can do with this, and it's a list card. I was very excited to find it because I had a copy somewhere and I can't find it. And it's weird because this ended up in the pack. I'm like, oh, I've been looking for this card. What do you know? Blood Clock. I don't think I enunciated that right. But at the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player returns a permanent he or she controls with its owner hand unless they pay 2 life. Now, again, this is in there for mostly for me bouncing bears back to my hand. It's very useful. With the Ozolith, it's leave the battlefield. It doesn't matter if it dies, so it's helpful to. If they're both out, it's really nice, but I don't think I've ever seen them together. But this is one of those cards I put in here just for that main reason. And last but not least, for the artifacts, at least, Conjurer's Closet, bouncing stuff. As I said, get some fights. I do the +1 half of Ayula more than anything, but the fighting is also good if I get anything that helps me regenerate, or if it's big enough, or there's a little problem. I don't do well against token decks because I make tokens in this one, but I'm not able to do enough bouncing to wipe the board of tokens, you know what I mean? Next is enchantments. We've got everyone's favorite Bearscape, that new sexy art from the Pride set. 1 in the green, exile 2 cards from your graveyard, create a 2/2 bear creature token. Not much more to say about that. Ooh, I'm getting all hot and bothered over that art. Careful now. Ayula's Influence. Now, I played this the other day in a stream, and I completely forgot what it did. So I'm reading the English now. It's discard a land card, create a bear token. This is in there with all those being able to play land cards from your graveyard, bouncing permanents to my hand if I want, making more bear tokens. I don't really need to explain more than that. And we have, I believe the next couple are, the ever classic doubling your tokens. This doubles, doubling season. I don't think I need to explain it better than that. Doubles tokens, doubles counter. Right? Everyone knows about that. Shoe fly don't bother me. Parallel Lives, Sign of the Artist. to tokens. You get twice as many tokens. Primal Vigor. If I remember correctly, yeah. This doubling season's good because it's only your board state. Primal Vigor is everybody's. So this is a little group huggy. If anyone will create a token or anyone will get +1/+1 counters, it's doubled instead. So this is one of those ones I keep thinking about cutting. Got this really sweet art too from Wilds of Eldraine, but I don't know. I keep it in there. It's a little too group huggy. Helps several other people out too. And whenever I have, it seems like more people are benefiting it from me than I am, I should say. Tribute to the World Tree. Let me check real quick. This is one of those cards that I thought was really good when it first came out, and I bought a couple copies. Didn't buy enough, I should say, because now it's, according to what I see here, is about $10 to $15 average. Where I'm like, dang, I bought these all for like $1. Sometimes I spec good, sometimes I don't spec so good. This card is definitely climbing up in price because the ability is really good. For 3 green, when a creature enters the battlefield under your control, draw a card if its power is 3 or greater. Otherwise, put 2 +1/+1 counters on it. So either way, you're benefiting either counters or drawing cards. Especially with this deck, a lot of the cards are 2, power 2 or less, or average of 2, especially tokens. So they're coming in as 4/4s, which is always a plus. And I think I have other abilities that, with power 4 or greater, I forget what they are. Gore Claw, I think it's massive when you cast them, but yeah, I'm rambling. You know, Ascetism. Really sweet Radagast brown art. Creatures that control have hexproof and regenerate creature for 1 and a green. Now this is in there for the fighting more than anything, but the hexproof also kind of helps. Another card I'm contemplating cutting. I don't see it enough, and I'd rather have something else whenever I draw this. You know what I mean? Here's another card. I bet you this is still cheap. Did it climb at all? Nah, a little bit. It's like $4 or $5 now. Elven Course. This is another card I feel like it's going to be worth a lot more. You look at the top card of your library any time. Always love that. You cast creature spells from the top of your library, and creatures have tapped to add any color. I don't know. Something about it, just I like the art. This one especially with this, was it Surge Foil or Ripple Foil, I forget what it's called. I think this card's going to be worth a lot more eventually. Speaking of which, this one too. This one is still $1. This is another one of those cards. It's like, it's really good. Why is it so cheap? Mana cost is a little high, 5 total, 3 and 2 green. But beginning combat, creature can get +1/+1 trample. Target land gets tap to add 3 green. Draw a card or gain 3 life. Who's picking any of the other ones? Really, it's the first one. You want to give all your stuff +1/+1 trample, but the ability to pick something else if you need it, or if you don't have any creatures out yet, you can draw a card if you need something or gain life. I don't know, it just seems like a good card that, call me crazy, I think should be a little more expensive, should be a little more played. Words of Wilding, pay 1. Next time you draw a card this turn, make it bear instead. Again, with that other card I had there, draw an extra card here and there. I have some other cards that do that too. Sometimes I'm not really worried about refilling my hand, especially with a good board state. This is good to have just on the battlefield, just in case, you know. And last but not least, I think this is the one I replaced the Muraganda Petroglyphs with. Pretty sweet art. Where green creatures get +1/+1, and when the green creature enters the battlefield, scry. Just enough to be like, well, I have some stuff with abilities, so Muraganda is not going to hit me as well. The extra scry thing is a little nice too, you know. At least that's my thinking. Grizzly Fate, well, instants and sorceries. Grizzly Fate, you know, LOL. Make bear tokens threshold. You make more flashback for 7 mana. Kind of expensive even for a normal cast of 5 total. I don't know. Makes bear tokens. I like the art, like the joke. Full Flowering. This is from a commander set I don't think I actually got, but I definitely got a copy of this. Populate X times. You pay green 2x. It's like half of what you pay. Make stuttering. To populate, create a token that's a copy of a creature token you control. Just making more bears. Again, either to pump something up. I wish it was instant speed. That'd be a lot better, but this one is, right? Nope. I think it's something else. Parallel Evolution. God help me, I don't know what the heck that's supposed to be, but it's kind of cool looking. Again, doubling all my tokens on the creative battlefield. It's kind of the same cast as the bear tokens, but if you have enough tokens, it's making a lot more. And my favorite, old Radagast art from the Hildebrands. Uh, Second harvest for each token you control. Create a token copy of that permanent. I love that. It's a fun card to just have when you have too many bears as it is. I got to cast it a while back where I had a Myriad ability on the stack, and I cast that to make token copies that don't go away. They're not attacked and attacking, like Myriad says, but it definitely keeps the tokens and helps pump stuff up. Anyway, Gingerbread Cabin. It's a forest. Comes in untapped if you control 3 or more forests. Other forests, rather. Makes a food token. I think that's why I had the little pie over there. But it's in here for flavor more than anything. It's a good card. Not crazy good, but it's a fun little card, especially with the theme of the deck being bears. When I saw this card, I smiled. I'm like, yeah, this has to go in there. This is such a fun little weird thing. Not so much fun, Bosaju, the Who Endures. This one, I might just cut. I pulled it in the pack, and yeah, it's like $40, $50. Holy moly. It's like, it's nice, it's neat, but it's worth more than I can actually justify keeping in this deck. You feel me? Where I'd rather get some more packs, some more cards. I don't know. Speaking of price, God, this is this spike too. I found it recently. Sheesh, like $60. But signed by the artist. I love the art. It's Regenerate Creature. It's one of those cards like, yeah, I get it. It's good. But is it worth that much? Is it reserve list, maybe? Click that again. Does it tell me reserve list on here? It is. It is a reserve list card. That explains it. You're just useful enough with not having too many printings. Everyone's favorite Rogue's Passage. The little Hobbit hole art there. It's one of my favorite cards, too. Argoth, Sanctum of Nature. I do not have the other half of this, and I've had one contention point. You can't see through these sleeves, but I should be running the token card in here, but I'm like, it doesn't matter. I'm never flipping it, right? But, enters benefit tap unless you control a legendary green creature. Adds a green. For 2 and 2 green, they make a bear token. They mill 3 cards. Then, again, put stuff in the graveyard. I have recursion, blah, blah, blah. It's a neat little card for what it does. Is it going to survive future cuts? We'll see. Got the cool promo Mutavault. Alright, explain that. Makes it into a bear. I love doing a sneaky block where somebody thinks I'm like not able to block and animate that for the last second. I don't know. Shire Terrace. Really pretty art. Hold on. Every once in a while, like, little dust crumb gets under the sleeves. Trying to keep up with like keeping them clean, because then that looks a lot nicer. Can actually wear into the card eventually, but that's why you double sleeve, folks. What did I say? Shire Terrace. I only got to explain. It's pretty art. Get a basic, then cast from graveyard after I sack it, which is the next little chunk here. Prismatic Vista, Fabled Passage, Terramorphic Expanse, Evolving Wilds. Sweet ass Bob Ross art. The sweet full text. And then like just cool cards out of it. I like showing them off sometimes. I get like interesting art. I like looking at them. But looking for some forests, little ramp. Like I said, I have the other cards in here that have recursion, so I can bring the stuff back from the graveyard, which is always useful. And then keep doing it again once a turn if I don't end up hitting my lands. I think the file says 37. I feel like I only have 36. Something might be a little off there, but I don't know. I feel like something's off, but onto the forests. Everyone's favorite forest, Yavimala, Riddle of Growth, making everything forest. And then, of course, we get to the basics. Show off. There's a couple in here for unnamed artists that are going to be replaced soon. I think they're still in here, but I don't know. I don't like playing matched lands, especially when there's so many different lands to enjoy. This one on top is one of my favorites. I used to go hiking a lot when I was younger. It just reminds me of hiking through the Allegheny Mountains. But I got some sweet foil ornaments. Some promo ones I've gotten through the years. Some interesting ones that I won't talk about the artists there. No. Every once in a while I go through when new sets come out and I find new arts that I enjoy, and I make the difficult decision of cutting cards. But there's some in here that I probably won't ever cut. There's some other ones that are like this one. I like the art. It's an older printing. I've had this for a long time, but at some point I'll probably swap it out with something else. Especially if I find like these sweet older foils. The more I find these ones, the more I'm like just replacing them. A little German forest for you, a little Vold action. A little Bob Ross. I think I got 2 of them in here. I don't know. Some of these are just some like, maybe I'll replace that soon. A lot of little TARDIS. A lot of these old ones, Anthony Waters again. The sketch variant of that forest, Deja Vu. Those old, like, what is that? Hour of Devastation. Love the foiling on the blood pools. The full text one. Oh, Doug Schuler. I should have got that signed. Anyway, Post Malone, Drew Tucker. Oh, Drew Tucker. I think I'm meeting him soon. Get him to sign that. Alan Polak. A lot of John Avon. He does a lot of good land art. I say there's like 2 in a row. Cool, like Secret Lair one. There's the other Bob Ross. Anywho, that's the Bears. The running gag for this deck is that old Chris Farley sketch, Dick, the Bears. The deck name actually is just called Dick Voice the Bears. I'll probably think of a more clever because I don't think anyone gets that joke anymore. Just too old. But we'll give them a little shuffle before I forget in case I want to play this soon. Do a little shuffle then too. But that's my deck. Hope you guys enjoyed watching me rant about it for almost 40 minutes now. But is there anything that you think would work better in here? I know Bloomborough at the time of recording is coming out soon. So we'll have some new bears, and there's that one spoil that of course is going in here. There's that green-white bear that I'm like, such a shame you're wrong color. I'd love to play you. But I'm gonna rant a little bit while I'm packing this stuff up. But if you made this far, appreciate you. I don't feel like giving the whole like, comment, subscribe BS, but it does help us little guys out, get more attention. So, hope you liked it, enjoy, and as always, love you.